Good morning and happy Wednesday, everyone. And we're all here today to witness, of course, another edition of 24 HRPO's official podcast On Board, where we talk about work and life. Now, joining us are four colleagues to share their thoughts about the topic on board. And today we'll be talking about work from home parenting. Okay, now I'm not really sure why I'm here because, as y'all know, I am not yet a parent, yet at least. But I think this is something that I can, or this is a topic where I can learn things when I decide to become one, right? So our guests will be sharing us how they manage their work and their families at the same time. They will also share stories about their experience as a work from home parent. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and have our guests come in. There you go. So, just a second. All right. Hello, parents. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So, please do give us a brief introduction of who's joining us today.
All right. So my name is Philip Evangelista, father of one kid or a toddler.
Mhm.
So I'm working as a recruitment specialist level 3 now for IT, med, and non-IT industry, and
Mhm.
I'm doing this for 5 years now.
All right.
Thanks.
Well, that's really good. Really good to hear. Um, Next.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Laverne. I am a mother of four, three girls and a boy, and I am a working team lead, working mostly on IT industry, and I hold 6+ years of experience in recruiting.
There you
Thank
go.
you.
There you go. Good to have you with us, Laverne. Next.
My name is Pern. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I am a mother of one very energetic baby boy.
There you go.
He's 4 years old. His name is Noah,
Mhm.
and I'm currently working as a senior service delivery manager for 24 HRPO, and I've been working in this industry for about 11 years.
There you go. Welcome on board, Pern. And of course, last but not the least, I would say a regular or semi-regular guest for our podcast. Sir, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, hi everyone. It's me again, Byron Ang. And by the way, Joey, thanks for having me again. I am a dad of four. My eldest is a guy. I have a teenager already, and I have three daughters. My current job, I'm still the head of business development and head of client relations for 24 HRPO. I've been in the RPO industry for 12 years now.
Mhm. All right. Well, that's good to hear from all of our guests or panelists for today. Now, my first question is, what is your routine when it comes to parenting at home? Well, parenting is done at home, but working from home is kind of different. I'm not gonna say, I really can't say how hard it is since, like I mentioned, I'm not yet a parent. But I'd like to know from you guys, what is your routine as a parent who's working from home?
All right. Since my kid is a toddler and he demands a lot of sleeping time, so I start my day at work, of course, preparing my coffee and
Mhm.
also his food if ever he has his cravings for midnight snack. So it's
Mhm.
just simple. I have a loaf of bread with me and a peanut butter in
Mhm.
case he wakes up at noon. During midnight. So if ever he cries, so the food is already prepared, and
Mhm.
I also have a plan B
Uh-huh.
if it doesn't work. I still have YouTube Coco Melon. All
Coco
right.
melon. There you go. From what I heard, coco melon is like the kid's choice nowadays, right? We used to have I don't know, Nickelodeon, but this generation is actually pro coco melon. So uh, there you go. There's that. So yeah, Laverne.
Well, yes. So daily routine, since I have uh, big kids already, I have a teenager already. She actually helps me sometime, like
Mm-hmm.
preparing food for her sips and but most of the time what I do in the morning is I prepare breakfast
Mm-hmm.
and then of course before lunch cook some food for lunch, and since they all grown up, I guess they're already grown ups. They're the one who can prepare for themselves
Mm-hmm.
for their food. Just have to prepare all the food that they want, and then at nighttime when I'm about to take my shift, they know that they have to be all quiet because I'm going to work. All right, so that's
There you go.
my daily routine.
There you go. From what I've seen on the internet, some kids do tie their kids just to make sure they're not distracted. Any of you guys doing that? I hope not. I hope not.
No.
All right.
No.
All right. Yes, Pern, how about you? How do you, or what is your routine with your parenting?
Um, it actually didn't change that much.
Mm-hmm.
So when I finish work every day, around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, that's the time that he wakes up. So
Mm.
what I usually do is, do our normal daily routine, like
Mm-hmm.
give him a bath, feed him, and spend time together. So I chose not to enroll him to online classes,
Mm-hmm.
since he's just 4 years old, and he has attended like preschool prior to this pandemic, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that he can sit in front of a laptop or a computer for that long.
Mm-hmm.
He's totally not like that. So what we do is we do crafts,
Mm-hmm.
we do things together. So I myself is relearning things,
Mm-hmm.
like planets, different parts of the body, ABCs,
Mm-hmm.
typical stuff.
All right.
And then when he sleeps in the afternoon, that's when I get to sleep also.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. All right. That's a good routine, and I know that kids nowadays are used to being in front of tablets or laptops or whatnot. And as Philip mentioned, Coco Melon. So some kids can really do search for that. I'm not surprised, but there you go. And
I think
Sir,
he's way past Coco Melon.
oh really? There you go. That's good to hear. Sir Vi.
My routine is I guess I'll touch more on so normally I wake them up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
They normally stay up late,
Mm-hmm.
especially when I started working from home. So tendency is they would um, uh, wake up late too. But
Mm-hmm.
being someone who came from a very traditional family, I want to make sure that they're up for breakfast and
Mm-hmm.
but like 6, 7, 8 a.m. Regardless of how much sleep you got uh, last night.
Mm-hmm.
I guess to top it, one of the routines that I make sure I consciously do is that I spend time in terms of honing their or staying with them, you know, um, honing their hobbies. So my daughter is into music. I
Mm-hmm.
make sure that once in a while, or as a routine, we get to spend time with her strings. She's doing um, what do you call that little guitar again? Ukulele.
Ukulele.
And so now I'm teaching her some guitars.
Mm-hmm.
But what's common with me and my with everybody, like my kids, is their online and console gaming.
Mm-hmm.
So we treat console gaming and online gaming here as a sport, not just as a leisure.
Mm-hmm.
We see it that way. So I spend time with them, and obviously how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the stuff that they learn at school, I normally would spend time teaching them about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what kind of a dad I am, routine wise, and that's daily.
I see. I see. Well, actually, you lost me at breakfast. Well, no,
Sure. So I
just
do a
kidding.
lot. I do a lot. I do a lot.
Just kidding. Well, yeah, actually, a lot of things I can relate to. Aside from the parenting, of course, or besides that, is that having breakfast with your family. I've haven't done that when I was working in the office, and one thing that I think is an advantage for me now is that I can have breakfast with my whole family. When after shift, right? So I think that's where I can relate to this topic, breakfast. All right. I would like to know how you guys balance working and parenting, because we know both of them are full time jobs, right? Full
Right.
time working and full time parenting. So I guess I'd like to know how you guys balance that. Laverne.
Well, it's really my first time to work from home, so at first it's not that easy, but you just have to have like it's like work, so you have to have time management. You have to have time for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you just have to make sure that if it is the end of your shift, your work is done. Just make sure that you'll spend your time with your kids and your family. So, um, whenever it is the end of my shift, make sure
Mm-hmm.
I always make sure that my laptop is shut down,
Mm-hmm.
so I won't think of work after my shift,
Mm-hmm.
and then spend the whole time with my kids, except also for my sleeping time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I balance it. You just have to have specific time for work, and
Mm-hmm.
then you have to set your time for your kids.
There you go.
Mhm.
Because since me, I have like teenagers already.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make time for them. I have to listen to them,
Mm-hmm.
not just for the toddlers, for the or for the teenagers as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. There you go. So I'm actually flashing a picture of Laverne's kids, and can you tell us more about them, Laverne?
Well, they're actually in order on that picture. The one is wearing white.
Mm-hmm.
She is my eldest.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Geraldine. She is a very shy type of a girl. She don't really socialize that much
Mm-hmm.
before, but um, we are actually trying to talk to her, um, tell her that she has to make some new more friends,
Mm-hmm.
even in school. Because before, when she was younger, she really won't talk to anyone in school. She's
Mm-hmm.
like a loner. But now, she's developing little by little her confidence, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really good for her.
That's good.
And
That's good.
then the one is wearing orange. Her name is Danaya. Her name
Danaya.
is
Mm.
yeah, Danaya from Encantadia.
There you go. There you go. Sounds familiar. So there you have it.
Yeah. Yeah. So her name is Danaya. She is also a shy type of girl, but not as shy as her ate.
Mm-hmm.
But she really won't post anything in TikTok. It is all on draft. Um, she, she's she's really scared to be bashed. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. And she's actually the one who is with me my whole shift.
Mm-hmm.
She's awake the whole night until the morning.
I see.
And then yeah, so my only boy, his name is Ace and Love.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he is very hyper. He loves playing Mobile Legend. He loves to eat, as
Uh-huh.
you can see, with a size like his mom. And my youngest is the little one who's eating ice cream there.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Ashley Elena.
Mm-hmm.
It's also from Encantadia. So she's she's the opposite of her addicts.
Mm-hmm.
She has the confidence. She has like this energy. She will post everything in TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
even some pictures that she will just create like a slideshow and post it in TikTok.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so those are my kids.
All right. All right. Well, thank you very much for introducing your kids to us, Laverne. And if she needs, or if your eldest needs tips from confidence, they can probably ask Sir Byron, because that's the most confident man I know, Sir Byron.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. How about Pern? Let's go ahead with Pern. I'm flashing your kid.
Is that Noah?
Do you have any other? Yeah.
Ah,
Of course, it's Noah Byrne. Come on.
well, everybody knows Noah because
Uh-huh.
I've been posting pictures of him all throughout my Facebook
Mm-hmm.
page.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 4. Um, he likes dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves to make everything out of clay. Like if he sees something, he wants to make a clay model out of it, like
Nice.
planets.
Nice.
Just
Mm-hmm.
recently, actually, just today, we were like making body parts,
Mm-hmm.
like heart, lungs, liver, things
Nice.
like that. So I'm relearning
Mm-hmm.
my elementary days.
I
So
see.
that's yeah, that's just what it is. And that picture actually is the first day, the first night that I was working from home.
Working from home.
That's
Okay.
the first day. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's really good. Exposing him to the corporate world. Aside from
Yeah.
Coco
Training him
Melon.
early.
Yep. Yep. So
Training him early.
that's right. That's right. And how do you balance work from home and parenting when it comes to Noah?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it has its perks working from home.
Mm-hmm.
Like spending more time with your kid, watching them grow and learn new things every day. But man, it is exhausting. I mean, it's crazy tiring. Like
Mm-hmm.
having a toddler cling to you like 24/7 is not a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that he knows that I'm just here
Uh-huh.
around the house. I'm not going anywhere. But one thing that makes it easier and make me balance working from home and being a parent is having a supportive partner.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Mr. Lubis. Shout out to Mr. Lubis. So he takes good care of Noah
Mm-hmm.
while I sleep, while I take a rest, and then make sure that he stays alive and doesn't kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, there's something good about being a mom that makes you want to do things for your kid all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to do things for Noah all the time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's
So
that's uh, that's good to hear. Well, uh, as Pern mentioned, motherhood is actually a full time job. Or parenting, to be exact, is a full time
mm,
job, and I think it's an advantage for us working at night at some point because they are sleeping at night, so no one's distracting you from your work. I guess that's an advantage, but I'm don't take it from me. I'm not a parent, so. How about Viren? Sir Vi, we're flashing pictures of your or a picture of your kids. Can you tell us more about them?
Sure. So my eldest, the boy, his name is Voltaire.
Mm-hmm.
The tallest lady there is my second. Her name is Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the next one is Vanessa, and the youngest is Venice. As you
Mm-hmm.
guys can might have noticed, everyone starts with the letter V. It's a family tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Voltaire is more into, well, the way I see him grow, he's into music as well. I think he got that from his grandmother. Since my mom is into music, Voltaire is an excellent singer. Not because he's my son,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm actually surprised that he has that kind of voice. Into singing. Her, his at well what do you call that, because at house we use Chinese, so shobe, like your younger
Younger
sister.
sister,
So there you
yes,
go, younger
familiar.
sister. Okay. Valkyrie is more in, she's the outdoor type, she's into surfing.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa is into music as well, but she's more into, she sings, but she's more into instruments. I'm sure she got that from me. um, and Venice is into draw. I mean, I think everybody goes there into drawing, but she's still young, discovering stuff. But I can see that she's into drawing really a lot compared
Mm-hmm.
to her other siblings. She's the one who's really into it. But all of them are into gaming, like
Mm-hmm.
console, mobile, you name it.
There you go. There you go. And how do you balance working from home and parenting?
Well, back in the days where we have, where we used to work in the office, the only way for me to balance it, since I spend a lot of time in traffic and staying in the office, is
Mm-hmm.
I make it up on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I make it a point that Sunday is what well for those who are not here in the Philippines, we call it pasyal or la mierda, family, going out. We go to arcades, we watch movies, we go to the mall, stuff like that. I go with them shopping. We when we go back home, I spend time looking at what they're doing in their studies.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, not much on a weekday, but since we started working from home, I got more time in terms of just asking them, what are you doing now? They're starting to have their own world. I think Laverne can relate to that as they grow up. So nowadays, it's just Venice who really um, gets to spend time with me. And again, to balance that, I just I ask them once in a while, what are you doing? Who you're talking to? What are you into?
Mhm.
Stuff like that.
All right. Well, that's sounds terrific. Now let's move on to Philip, who's I believe the newest father among the group. Philip, tell us about your kid.
All right, his name is Primo Joaquin,
Mm-hmm.
2 years old, and he's a very playful kid or a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
He runs around the house, plays hide and seek with me and his mom.
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing about him is that he's not picky in eating food. So whatever I
Mm-hmm.
eat, he also eats it, just like daddy.
Well, that's really good. It's I
So
think it's really
lucky to
often
have
for
that
kids.
kid.
Yeah, it's really often for kids to not to be choosy when it comes to food because most kids would like to eat like I don't know what does kids eat nowadays. I mean, back in the day, it's supposed to be hot dogs or stuff like that. So it's really good to hear a kid who's not really choosy when it comes to food. Right. So again, how do you
Yeah.
balance working from home and parenting, Philip?
Well, during mornings, of course, I do the household chores
Mm-hmm.
and washing the dishes, preparing breakfast and lunch
Mm-hmm.
for my family. Then after that, playtime with my kid,
Mm-hmm.
running around the house and playing with our kitten.
There you go. So aside from being a dad, you're also a fur dad. Is it counted as a fur dad if it's a cat? I don't know, because dogs are
Uh,
considered fur babies. I'm not sure with cats. I don't have a cat, so
well, I'm not sure.
but they have furs, so I guess it counts, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Um, okay, and I think Philip has a question. Earlier, we were discussing about parenting, and I think Philip, being the newest father among the group, has a question to those who have several
Yeah.
kids in the group. So yeah, go ahead, Philip. Ask your question.
So my question is, what is the ideal age gap for kids?
There you go. Uh, Pern can actually answer this. Uh, even if she only has one kid, I think she has an idea on how would be or what would be an ideal gap. Uh,
Um, I have a sibling,
mhm,
and our age gap is 4 years.
mhm.
So Noah is 4 years old already. So maybe anytime soon. I'm just joking.
There you go. There you go. Well, I can relate to
But I
that.
think
Yeah.
the age gap is, I think, maybe for 2 to 4 years old
There you go. Because
before you
me and my
give
sister
him a
also
sibling.
have 4 years of age gap. So I think I'm not sure if that's my parents' plan or I don't know, but yeah, because I think my thinking is, you don't want your kids to be in college at the same time because that's gonna be too expensive. I'm not sure. I'm just thinking forward. But yeah, the guests who have multiple kids, can you answer that? What would be the ideal gap for kids or to have kids? Laverne.
Um, I just heard this from a pediatrician
Uh huh.
before. Uh, it's 2 years actually, but that
Two
is
years.
like the minimum age, like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That if your kid is 2 years, that would be the earliest that you can, have another kid.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it will be better if it will be more than 2 years. But in my case, um, my kids like has 2 years of age gap, except
Two
for the
years of age gap.
youngest.
Okay. All right. Survey.
I guess it depends on your objective really. If it's to to make things lighter in terms of financial burden, I would suggest very similar to what Joey mentioned, at least 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
With your first kid, you want to make sure that your firstborn is already in school. Why? If it's just you and your wife at home, you don't have a yaya or a relative that could would take care of your second born. The idea is that you can focus on the second born, and that the firstborn is already in school. And two, you're not paying two kids at the same time to send them off to school. And same thing, once someone is already in college graduating, the other one is
Mm-hmm.
entering college. The
Mm-hmm.
other objective really is if you're looking to basically if finance or resources is not really a problem, and you want to make sure that your child would have a good experience growing up. Because for me, my brother, the closest brother to me, is just a year and a half younger than me, and we practically grew up like friends. Obviously, there were some ugly moments when you're teenagers, conflicts and stuff. But eventually, we look at each other as really best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it depends on your objective, finance or
Yep.
the relationship that you want to build.
Mm-hmm. All
I
right.
guess that's similar to what Bern just said, 2 to 4. I think if
Yep.
Bern mentioned something like that, yeah.
So there you go, 2 to 4 years, Philip. So I guess you have to be ready by now because your kid is already 2 years old. So,
Yes, sir.
according to Pern, anytime soon. There you go. All right. So we have a question here from our comment section from Chad, who, by the way, was our guest from last week. Most parents forgo their personal interests to spend their time working or taking care of their kids. Do you think having me time is still relevant as a parent? Who'd like to answer first?
Well, you know what? Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why to be a successful working from home
Mm-hmm.
and to be a career woman, you have to have a supportive partner,
Mm-hmm.
um, so that you can have your me time. What I do is I usually go to the mall
Mm-hmm.
by myself, or go to the grocery store by myself. So
Mm-hmm.
I spend like an hour or two just roaming around, not buying anything really, like in DIY,
Mm-hmm.
Japan Home Center, Daiso. So I just roam around, um, and to me that's like quality time already.
Mm-hmm. I see. I see. All right. Is that during the new normal, or was that before the pandemic hit?
That's before and during the
Before
pandemic.
and during the pandemic. All right. Uh,
Yeah, we cannot go to the spa or anything, to the salon.
mm-hmm.
We cannot get our nails done or anything. So, just roam around, walk
Mm-hmm.
around
Mm-hmm.
all by yourself.
All right.
That's enough for me.
All right. How about Survey? Me time, is it important as a
It
parent?
is very important, but from a different mindset, I guess, Chad, what I'd like to impart is, and for those who will be parents someday, is that your kids, they will grow up so fast,
Mm-hmm.
to the point that I would suggest that you make it a me time, that you spend your time with kids, because
Mm-hmm.
eventually when they're old, you're gonna get the me time that we normally describe it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's not, you end up looking back at the past, that I should have spent more time with my kids. And I'm speaking from my experience, because my dad and my relatives are all professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And back then there were no internets. I mean, you can't do a video call, and they're in the office. So eventually time passed. We ended up like, where did all those time go? And they had their me time. So for me, me time is important, but you might want to tweak your mindset a bit, that adding your kids in your family in your me time when you're a parent, that's the me time.
Mm-hmm.
Spending your time with your family is a me time when you're a parent.
There you go. There you go. So, Chad, I hope that answers your question, which is wonderful, by the way. Thank you for that. And do you guys have any funny stories or funny things to share about your kid distracting you from from your work? Philip, do you have any story
Yeah.
about that?
So when I was talking to one of my candidates,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and my son woke up in the middle of the night.
Uh huh.
He was hungry and crying out loud, looking for a midnight snack.
Mm-hmm.
So I got lucky because the candidate didn't hear his
Uh
noise,
huh.
and also lucky because there's still a bread left for my kid.
Imagine if there's no bread left, right?
Yeah, bread and peanut butter.
There you go.
And like what I've said, if I mean if it doesn't work, cocoa melon.
Cocoa melon.
Yeah,
So
and
that's the
that's it.
ultimate
Yeah,
ultimate deal breaker, I would say. Cocoa melon.
yeah, for toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then after that, we live all, I mean, happily ever after.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'd like to get Laverne's insight because Laverne has multiple kids, and they are on a different age bracket. So I'd love to know if there are any distractions. I would understand if the teenagers already understands what you're doing, but how about the kids? How about the others?
Well, actually, they know what I am actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
They know that at night I have a work
Mm-hmm.
that'll start at 8 p.m. So, actually, the little ones, they will be sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I have my second child. She's already a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
but just like Philip's baby, she's always hungry at night.
Mm-hmm.
She stays up my whole shift. Um, she will only sleep like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So the fridge cannot be an empty one. So I have to stock up a lot of food in the fridge.
Uh-huh.
Every time I go to the market, I have to buy like nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
French fries, ham, um, anything like hot dogs. So if she'll be hungry in the middle of the night, she'll have something to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier, just before this podcast, she cooked a lot of French fries, had her, good snack,
Mm-hmm.
and right now she's watching TikTok.
All right.
That's
Well,
what she loves to do.
it's basically a
So
party.
it's not really funny. It's not really funny, but that's how our routine every night.
Uh-huh.
Like the both of us will be awake the whole night
Mm-hmm.
till the morning.
I see. I see. Well, that's really good to hear. Byron, any comments?
Nah, it's they treat my work as something sacred. They
Mm-hmm.
know what's going on, so not much funny story. I
Mm-hmm.
think the closest one was I was in a very serious meeting with a client, and my youngest Benice just squealed dad because she's having a squabble with her ate. So I think that and the client heard that. Um, that was it, I guess. And it was and it ended like a light talk instead of a very serious meeting
Mm-hmm.
instead. And the funny thing, I guess, the client understood our current setup
Mm-hmm.
and was very forgiving about it. So,
Yep.
ruins the Byron image in a client meeting, I guess. That's the funniest thing there.
There you go. And Fern, speaking of meetings, do you want to share
Uh,
anything about your kid being a distraction?
he is always a distraction. I mean, I think he knows.
Uh-huh.
Like 5 minutes before an important meeting, he wakes up in the middle of the night
Mm-hmm.
and then clings on me. Um, Everybody knows that I always open my camera every
Uh-huh.
time I'm on a meeting.
Mm.
I don't turn it off. But if he's here, if my camera is off, it means that I'm holding him.
There you go. All right. So, yeah, I think I've witnessed a few instances where, Pern's kid is actually in the background. Not really a distraction, but, doing something in the background. Well, anyway, uh, now I'd like to get the insights of those who have, well, pretty much everyone has toddlers except for Laverne. I think Laverne, how old is your youngest?
My eldest is 15 and my youngest is 11.
11. There you go. I think for the Pern, Philip, and Viren, they have kids less than 5 years old, uh, right? So, how did you explain to them, uh, you know, working from home, or how did they, or did they even ask you why you're doing this, why you're working at home, something like that? How did you explain it to them? Uh,
Well,
yep, Pern.
I think he gets it by now.
Mm-hmm,
He knows that I'm working, as compared to before when we were working back in the office. He knows that I leave the house before he goes to bed. But
mm-hmm,
now, he knows that I'm just outside the bedroom, working, and he gets it.
mm-hmm.
I explain it to him, the typical parent, that I have to do this, I have to work so that we can buy milk, toys, and yummy chicken. And I think he gets it.
Yummy
He's a
chicken.
smart kid.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Philip.
Well, for me, it's hard to explain it to him since he's
Yep.
two
Yep.
years old.
Mm-hmm,
But I'm doing my best to divert his attention and,
mm-hmm,
of course, make time with him
mm-hmm.
because toddlers really demand time.
Yep.
They're really affectionate, right?
Mm-hmm,
So that's my case.
mm-hmm. There you go. And survive.
Something different. I treat my kids as if they're adults.
Mm-hmm,
So I explain to them the situation of the pandemic, the
mm-hmm,
situation of the business, and why dad needs to work from home. Obviously the youngest enjoys it because she gets to have more time with me. I spoiled them really bad. But yeah, I explained it the way I would explain it to an adult. I didn't sugarcoat it. I just explained it to them. They
mm-hmm.
understood, and
All right.
they actually really like it. So
Well, that's really good to hear. Exposing them early at this
mm.
stage. In the reality of life, and that's a great concept, Byron. So before we end, I'd like to get your parents or the parents is if if they have any tips for our audience when it comes to working from home and parenting. Do you have any tips that you can share to the group or to our audience, Laverne?
Well, for me, this is what I, practice doing here at home since we started working from home last March. So, the only tip that I can give is like what I've mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm,
You have to make time for your kids. Make sure that you have to make time for your kids,
mm-hmm,
whether they're teenagers or especially if they're toddlers, because like what Philip said, toddlers cannot understand really what you're doing.
mm-hmm,
So even if you will explain it to them multiple times, not all of them can understand
mm-hmm,
what you're gonna do or what you're doing
mm-hmm,
um, at night. But you just have to, spend some time with them and then and explain to them that okay, this is our time to play, to talk,
mm-hmm,
but at night you have to, let mama work or
mm-hmm,
let dada work, um, and do their things. Um, and also, if you're working at night, make sure that once you're done with your shift, shut down your laptop or your PC, and don't think of work anymore.
mm-hmm,
Just except of course if there is something really urgent and really important. So
mm-hmm,
because that's what I do. I
mm-hmm.
shut down my laptop, give my kids some time, especially my teenagers, and that's it. Have a good sleep, and then when you wake up, do the routine again.
Mm-hmm. All
You
right.
know, time is very important for your kids.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
I saw like a comment, love is spelled like Time, which is really true.
Oh, there you go. That's a nice quote. That's a nice quote. Thank you very much, Laverne. Pern, do you have any
I think
tips?
it's all about setting boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
As Laverne said, boundaries in terms of your work hours,
Mm-hmm.
and then boundaries in terms of you spending time with your kid, with your family. And lucky for me, I have a support system, so
Mm-hmm. All right.
very lucky about that.
That's good. That's good. Philip.
Well, uh, as a father of a toddler,
Mm-hmm.
okay, one of my tips is you should know what he wants or what he likes and also his dislikes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, of course, my son likes eating. Prepare the snack and he'll get it by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then for his dislikes, he doesn't like T Rex. So
T
I
Rex.
mean, he likes dinosaurs except T Rex. So
Mm, okay.
whenever the video plays some dinosaur, I make sure that he wouldn't see the T Rex.
Mm, okay. All right. So that's good. You always keep your eye on what your kid watches.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. All right. I'm not gonna be surprised if you know all the Coco Melon songs, if that's the case. Right. Sir Vi,
Yeah.
any tips for our audience?
Sure. So on top of what Laverne, Philip, and Pern said, about boundaries and preparing stuff, I'd like mine to be more on really leveraging the opportunity of working from home. I mean, seeing the silver linings and
Mm-hmm.
applying that, and making sure it trickles down to your child or to your children. Spending time with them, making sure that they learn from this experience, to exposing them to what we do to our trades. At the I mean, for me, it's an opportunity for them to learn the things that they would do after school. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's why they're going to school. Eventually, they'd be working too. So they'd see the discipline, the commitment that their parents are doing. For them, it's spending time, making sure that again it gets embedded to your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's my tip. Is you won't have another chance of doing that as you get older. So
All right. Well, thank you very much for all the parents who joined us this week, and I hope you can join us again on our future episodes of On Board. And again, thank you very much for joining us. And speaking of next episode, we might, I think I'll come up with something that I can relate to, and that is fitness, right? So that's something interesting to talk about. This episode actually wasn't able to relate that much since, like I mentioned, I'm not yet a parent, but I did get a lot of lessons from the parents. So that's something that I picked up from this episode. But make sure, or I'll make sure next time that I'll be able to relate. So that's why we'll be talking about fitness on our next episode. There you go. Thank you very much again to our guests for today, and of course, weekly we provide tips related to our topic. And for this week, our tip of the week is separate parenting and business roles. So they've already mentioned, our guest already mentioned a couple of points about separating your family and business, right? Having children is a full time job as well. Having kids to take care of is another full time job. So you have to make sure to manage how you make time for both things without compromising the quality of work and missing home duties as well, right? Get that from a non-parent like me. But anyways, that's one of the things that I learned actually from this topic. All right, and again, thank you very much for everyone who joined us this week on our episode of On Board. And we'd like to thank our friends from Extra Mind F&A Outsourcing for, of course, supporting us for this episode. And if you have any accounting or any accounting outsourcing needs, contact our friends from Extra Mind F&A Outsourcing Inc. With that, I'd like to thank everyone who joined us, and please do watch out for our next episode We'll be announcing that on our Facebook Live. Do watch this a rerun of this episode on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the week, guys. Bye.